Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yoyes, and on my channel I teach you guys everything you need to know about lash extensions. If you are new here, I do have a pinching video where I show you guys how to do fans pinching before anybody goes and asks me how do I make my fans. You're obviously going to see in this video that I do pinch my fans, but in today's video it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you guys the difference between a volume fan and a mega volume fan. So the reason why I have three tiles in front of me is because I do have three types of lashes. If you are a beginner and you're wondering, the two basic lashes that you need as a beginner would be a 0.5 and a 0.3. I do have different brands here for you guys so you guys can see the difference in what different lashes do, but I am going to be showing you guys three different types of lashes. It is 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. And the reason why I'm showing you guys three different types of lashes is because me personally, I love to use 0.4 for volume and sometimes mega volume. You can get away doing 0.4 for mega volume lashes since these are SocoLashes. She does promote them as mega volume lashes, but honestly I love to use these for volume lashes. And I know a bunch of you guys get confused a lot because SocoLashes does promote them as mega volume, but I love to use them as volume just because they are right in the middle of mega volume lashes and volume lashes. So the difference between all of them is that a 0.3 is mega volume lashes. You definitely do not want to be doing mega volume lashes with a 0.5. It is going to be way too heavy. 0.5 is meant strictly for volume lashes, and a lot of you guys know them as Russian volume lashes, but never use volume lashes for mega volume lashes. So again, never use 0.5 volume lashes for mega volume lashes. You strictly want to use these just for volume. So again, as a refresher, 0.3 is for mega volume lashes. The lighter the lash is, the bigger you can make a fan. So 0.3s are perfect for mega volume lashes. And yes, you can use 0.4 for mega volume lashes, but again, your fans will have to be a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, just because it is a little bit heavier. I mean, there isn't much of a difference compared to a 0.3 and a 0.4, but since it is that slight difference, you definitely do not want to be making 0.4 like really big fans. So again, the darker and more full and dense you want them, the lighter the lashes have to be in order for you to make bigger fans. So again, 0.5 is volume lashes, 0.4 is right in between both of them, so you're able to use them for volume and mega volume, and then 0.3 is mega volume lashes. I know a bunch of you guys were not trained correctly or were wondering what is the difference between both of them, and most of you guys probably haven't even taken a mega course, and that's why you're wondering like what is the difference. So again, 0.5, anything that is 0.5 to 0.7 would be considered a volume lash. You definitely do not want to use anything higher than a 0.7 to make your volume fans. Remember, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. If you're using anything higher than a 0.5, you are definitely going to want to make your fans smaller. You don't want to be doing anything bigger than 5D or 4D fans if you are using a 0.7, because the thicker the lash, the heavier the fan gets. So definitely want to make them smaller. 0.5 is the perfect weight to be able to do slightly bigger fans for volume lashes. So I like to stick to 0.5 when it comes to volume. I hope that made sense. I wanted to make it as simple as possible so you guys can understand the difference between the 0.5 and the 0.3. Again, 0.3 is basic standard when it comes to mega volume lashes. Again, you can be using 0.4, but if you are going to be using 0.4, you are going to have to make your fans a little bit lighter. So again, you want the denser look. You are definitely going to be able to achieve a more fuller dramatic fan using the 0.4. And like I said, for me personally, I prefer to use 0.4 for volume and mega volume, but if I am using 0.4 for mega volume, I will make my fans a little bit smaller. And if it is for mega volume, you can achieve anything from 2D to even a 10D using a 0.4. If you guys feel like I didn't make sense or didn't explain myself right, make sure to comment down below, or you can message me on my Instagram and I'll go over it again for you guys. So just as a refresher, 0.5 is the basic standard when it comes to volume. You can achieve a slightly bigger fan using a 0.5. Anything bigger than a 0.5, like a 0.6, 0.7, you are going to have to make smaller fans. And the reason why I like to stick to 0.5 is because they are lighter and they are fluffier and they won't look as plasticky as a 0.6 or a 0.7. Anything above a 0.7, I would consider a classic. Even a 0.10, those are classic lashes. So you definitely don't want to be using anything higher than that. So if you are a beginner and you are wondering what is the perfect lash that I need to be able to start doing volume fans, I would recommend a 0.5. And if you want to do slightly bigger fans but don't want to be like super dramatic, then I recommend to get the 0.4. Obviously there's SocoLashes, and they were one of the first ones to come out with the 0.4 lashes. In the beginning they were called the unicorn lashes because they were very rare, but now a lot of brands carry 0.4, so it's a lot easier to find a 0.4 lash. I prefer to use a 0.4 for my volume lashes just because I can get a slightly bigger fan without it being too dramatic. And then the lighter the lash, the more softer and fluffier they look. So I personally like to stick to a 0.4. And then again, these are considered mega volume lashes, but I love to use these for volume lashes. And then lastly, you want to stick to 0.3 when it comes to actual mega volume lashes. The lighter they are, the fluffier and bigger fan you could get. So 0.3 are the best option to go for when it comes to a mega volume lash. So the lighter the lash, the fluffier the fan, the darker the fan, and the more dense look you'll achieve. So now that I explained the difference between all of them, I am going to jump in and show you guys how I pinch my fans and also the difference between all of them and how big you should be making your fans depending on all of them. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So as you can see here, I have my lash tile, and these lash tiles are from my lash tile box that I got from Elan Beauty, Elan Beauty. If you guys haven't seen my Black Friday haul slash 12K giveaway, in that video I did talk about that lash tile. So if you guys are interested in these lash tiles, make sure to go check out that video, because in that video I do have a link for these lash tiles. Okay, and then also before I do get started, quickly wanted to show you guys the tweezers that I have been loving. So I do pinch, like I keep mentioning, and I feel like for a pincher, these type of tweezers are going to be your total lifesavers. And my favorite, my all-time favorite is the SocoLashes 45-degree angle tweezer. And guys, I know, don't mind my nails, they're looking a little but these are the 45-degree angle tweezers. And as you can see, these right here are my type of tweezers. Anything that are very thin based like that, these right here are going to be your best friend. As you can see, I have a preference when it comes to tweezers. They're all very similar in style. This is the Elan Beauty. I'm so sorry, I still haven't learned the actual name. I got this tweezer about 2 weeks ago, and it has been my go-to lately. I feel like I need to stock up on these. I already have quite a few of my 45-degree angle tweezer, but I need to get a couple more of these because if anything happens to my 45, these ones are my go-to. And then normally when I am lashing, I go back and forth between both of these. So again, my two favorite tweezers are these ones right here, and then also when I first started, but this one is the Livbay lash, and and this has been my #1 tweezer. This is my OG tweezer right here, and obviously it's the same. It literally looks like the SocoLashes tweezer. As you guys can tell, there is a very similarity. They're all the same, except this one, the white one, is thinner, as you can tell. But these ones right here are literally my favorites. This one was one of the first tweezers that I ever fell in love with, that I still go back to this day. This has been like my favorite since the very beginning. And then another tweezer that I have been liking is this Beauté, the L2. As you can tell, it is shaped like an L, and it is completely different from the tweezers that I normally go for, but it still works beautifully when it comes to pinching. And honestly, a tweezer like this would work beautifully when it comes to fanning on the strip. It reminds me kind of like a boot tweezer, but without looking like a complete boot. But yeah, so these have been my go-to tweezers. And honestly, guys, the reason why I'm mentioning my favorite tweezers is because good tweezers or bad tweezers will either make or break your lash. So if you are using your tweezers that you have been using for classic lashes, if you've been only doing classic lashes and you start using those same tweezers to do a volume fan or even a mega volume fan, it is not going to work for you, because those classic lashes pretty much file down your tweezers to the point where they will not be picking up your lashes. If you are struggling picking up volume lashes and you feel like maybe volume lashes are not for you because you're having a hard time picking up lashes off the strip, it's most likely that your tweezer is not meant for lashes like that. So I recommend getting a new tweezer when it comes to volume or even mega volume lashes. You can have a tweezer specifically just for that type of style. So I recommend to get one classic tweezer, one volume tweezer, and then one mega volume tweezer. That way you know that that tweezer is going to work on you and it's not going to fail on you. So again, if you guys have had an issue with you pulling the lashes off the strip, it's for that reason. So try that out, get a new tweezer, and see if that grip is so much better. It will probably change everything for you guys. So now let's get into the actual fan making. Alright guys, so another thing that I did want to mention is if you guys are having issues when you guys are fanning your lashes and when you go and dip it in the glue, they completely close up. It can be that you are using too much glue or the way you are dipping them. So I am also going to be showing you guys what I do to prevent your fans from closing, and other tips that they probably didn't teach you in your course that will probably change everything for you guys, because I am about to blow your guys' mind. I've been doing this trick for a while now, and even doing this one trick alone still gives me amazing retention, and I don't struggle with my fans closing. So I'm about to blow your guys' mind, and hopefully this one trick alone will help you guys out. That way you guys don't get glue on your tweezers and don't have your fans closing up on you guys. So one thing that I will 100% recommend that completely changed everything for me, and I can't believe I waited on this for so long and it took me so long to figure this out, but the reason why I have little glue dots right here on my lash tile is because I use flower cups and I stick them on my tile. So this little guy right here is gonna completely change everything for you guys. This little guy is gonna help keep your fans open. That way when you dip it in your glue, you can easily slide it through the little inserts, and that's why it's called a flower cup, because it has little inserts right here. So when you dip it in the glue, you slide it through here, and it's gonna help keep your lashes open, like wide open. And honestly guys, I don't know why I waited so long on getting this little thing, and I had it saved on my Amazon cart for a long time. I used to use these little metallic glue stickers, and honestly these work just fine. These do help with you removing all the excess glue, because too much glue is really bad. So I used to use these a lot, and then I switched over to these little guys, and these little guys have completely changed everything for me. So what I like to do is I do have these glue dots, and I'm gonna have everything linked down below for you guys, that way you guys are not wondering what it is, you know, that I said. So these little glue dots, I like that it comes in this little container. Pretty much, as you guys can see, it has like little glue dots already made to go. So what I like to do is I like to take this and just slide it on my tile. And I like to stick about 2 glue dots on there. I pretty much just put my little glue ring flower cup, my flower cup on there, and that is pretty much my setup on my lash tiles. It's so simple, and I love that this keeps my lash tiles so clean. So now let's get into the demonstration. I know I've been lagging it and you guys just want to see how I make my fans and what is the difference between them, and I am actually going to be using my SocoLashes glue. Obviously it's my favorite glue, you guys already know that. For the purpose of this video, I am going to be using this one just because it is very fast drying. Another tip is to make sure you shake up your glue really good. I do have a glue shaker that I broke, so unfortunately I can't use it. I don't know what is taking me so long to order a new one. I don't know. But yeah, make sure to shake up your glue really good. You definitely do not want to shake your glue less than 1 minute because your glue will not be mixed up really good, and that's probably what's causing you guys to have bad retention. So make sure to shake your glue up really good. Make sure all the ingredients are nice and mixed up. Okay, I know guys, my nozzle is not looking cute, don't mind it. The glue is still working. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 dots in there, and then you want to burp your glue in case any glue does come off. That way it keeps it from clogging. So make sure to remove all the excess glue on a lint-free wipe. And now you're gonna brush your lashes through. This is one thing that I recommend to do before every service. You want to make sure that the lashes are nice and brushed through. That way it helps make your job so much easier and they fan out so much nicer. So make sure your lashes are nice and brushed. Okay, now for the fun part guys. So I am starting off with the 0.5, which is the volume lashes, and with the 0.5 you definitely don't want to go in heavy handed. So I'm going to start off with a 16 millimeter. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you definitely don't, I don't know if you guys can see that. So when it comes to volume lashes, you definitely want to keep it light. You don't want to be pulling off so much, especially when it comes to 0.5. So I am just eyeballing it here for you guys. And as you guys can see, I am pulling off about that much, as you guys can see. And now for the pinching part is I like to pinch them open. Hopefully you guys can see that. So just pinch. And if you guys do have bases that look a little wonky, make sure that your bases are nice and perfect. The base, and as you can see. Okay, and now for the trick that I'm going to show you guys is you're going to dip the base barely, just a little bit. I hope you guys can see that. You dip the base, just the tip of it, hardly anything, and then slide it. So that is the first volume fan. So as you can see here, it is not perfectly well made since these lashes are too close together. So your whole overall goal when it comes to a volume fan is that you want to make sure that each single lash is nice and spread out evenly. But this is the overall goal that you guys want to go for. As long as your base is perfect, as you guys can see, this is what you want to achieve when it comes to your bases. You don't want any hair sticking out. You definitely don't want any pointiness on other side. You want to make sure that all your lashes are evenly together and evenly spaced out. Another thing too that I will recommend when making your fans is that you definitely want to find your sweet spot on your tweezers. Every tweezer is different. Some their sweet spots will be more at the tip, then in the center some will be more towards the inner part. For SocoLashes, it tends to be like right in the middle. Another thing too that you can do is when you do find your sweet spot, let me show you guys. So what I mean by sweet spot is that when you pull the lashes off, you will see that it grabs onto those lashes perfectly. So that means where I pull the lashes from, that is where the sweet spot is at. So you can always go in and mark your tweezer. Sorry, I can't do it with the left hand. You can mark your tweezer with a Sharpie. That way you know every time of where you should be pulling the lashes from the tweezer. And then you go in and fan out your lash. So another trick that I will show you guys is that when it comes to this flower cup, if you are struggling making fans, what you can do actually is, it's not going to come out beautifully, but you can always grab some lashes, pull them off the strip, and then dip them in the glue just a little bit, just the base, and then stick them through the flower cup, release pressure on your tweezer, and it's gonna fan those lashes out all by themselves. Obviously that is not a cute fan. As you can see, it is not a cute fan. It wasn't perfect, but it is a start. Honestly, if you guys are struggling, I recommend to try the flower cup because it will make your life so much easier. Again, this is not perfect, but it is a start. So let me show you guys again. So you grab some lashes, pull them off, and with the base, barely dip them in the glue just a little bit, and then slide them through. And you want to barely release any pressure from the tweezer. That way when you slide it through, their lashes open up just a little bit. Again, guys, it's not perfect, it won't be perfect, but it is a start. So let me show you guys again because obviously I'm not doing a good job showing you guys. So grab some lashes, dip the base barely in the glue, and then when you stick it through, release pressure and then slide it through there. And this one actually came out a little bit better. So as you guys can see, it is a start. It's not perfect, obviously, but it is a start and it will make your life a lot easier. You definitely want to practice as much as you can. Again, if you are new, this is probably going to be such a pain in your butt, but honestly, once you guys get it down, the more you try, the more you practice. Obviously, people still have their bad days, but let me show you guys again. Pull some lashes, pinch. So when you pinch, you want to barely release any pressure from your tweezer. Another thing too about using the flower cup is that when you dip it in your glue and your lashes close up, you could still slide it through there and it'll open the lashes up for you guys. But there's another one for you guys. So when dipping it in the glue, you barely want to tip the base in there. And I like to tilt the fan towards me when dipping it in the glue. You definitely don't want to dip the glue in like this. You want to dip it from the top, just the base, barely, and then slide it through there. That way it opens up the fan a little bit more. And that's how you avoid getting glue on your tweezer. Tilt your tweezer towards yourself and then dip it straight in. Don't dip it like this. Don't dip it like this. Dip it straight down and barely get the base in there. So you barely want to grab any glue and then slide it through the hole, and honestly that is what's going to keep your fan open. So another tip that I will recommend, and guys, this is the crazy tip that I was going to tell you guys. So when it comes to keeping your fans open, like if you are struggling with your fans closing as soon as you dip it in the glue, I will recommend to hold your tweezers very tight when you dip it in the glue, and then slide it through. When you slide it in there, let it loose just a little bit. That way it opens the fan. But if you like how your fan looks at the moment and you don't want nothing to happen to it, make sure your tweezers are gripped tightly. That way nothing happens to it when you slide it through. When you do that and your fan is nice and open, you want to let that glue dry. So when I slide it through those little inserts, I slide it. That way it removes all the excess glue. That way the base looks like that, and as you can tell, there is no ball of glue on there. And once it's nice and dry, ready, it's nice and dry. So pretty much what this is considered, it's considered pro making your fans. And I love to pro make my fans as I go. I know this is crazy. I know a lot of artists will teach you to lash wrap, and I do not like lash wrapping. I feel like when I do that, it messes up my fans so bad. So I like to pro make my fans. So make my fans as I go, but I also like to pro make them. If you guys have never heard of pro making is pretty much the technical term for you make them ahead of time. Pre-made are fans that were made by a company, and pro-made fans are fans that you made on your extra spare time. You reuse those fans for your clients. So I pretty much pro-make my fans as I go. So again, I dip it in the glue and then wipe off all the excess glue. That way it dries down, and then that way they do not move. And then once they are dry, I dip it back in the glue. As you can see, I am barely dipping it. The back of the base, I am barely touching it in the glue, and that grabs enough glue for me to go and stick it on the lash. So if you guys are struggling with your fans closing as soon as you dip it in the glue, or when you go and place it on the natural lash, this is what's gonna help from your fans closing anytime during this whole dipping glue and placing it to the natural lash. So I recommend to try this out. If you guys didn't understand what I meant by it, I recommend to rewatching this entire part. That way you guys can understand and see exactly what I'm doing. So this one, as you can tell, already has a lot of glue because I dipped it in the glue way too much. But yes, after you let that dry, you dip it in your glue once, just barely on the base, on the back of the base. You definitely do not want to stick the whole thing in there, because that's going to give you a ball at the front of the lash. So you want to dip it on the back just enough. That way when you stick it on the natural lash, and the back of the lash has the glue, and that is what's going to give you really good retention. Honestly guys, like I mentioned, I don't lash wrap for that reason, because the times that I have tried to do that, my fan would close up, and I learned this trick along the way, and it has completely changed everything for me. And honestly, I don't have any problems with retention. So if you are scared of trying this method out because you are scared that it's going to ruin your retention, I promise you guys it is not. It will help you guys out so much and save you all that stress and struggle from your lashes closing up. So I hope that helped, and if it does, make sure to comment down below letting me know that that little trick helped you guys out. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to Megavolume fans. Okay, before I get started making Megavolume fans, I forgot to mention, when it comes to volume fans, you can do fans anywhere from 2D to 10D. I know a lot of artists will fight me on this and say that anything above 7D is considered mega volume fans, and honestly, yes, you know, you do have a point, but the only reason why I say that is because when you're using 0.4 lashes, you can get away using 10D fans. So you can make your fans slightly a little bit bigger because they are lighter weight, so you are able to make your fans a little bit bigger, and that is the reason why I love using 0.4 lashes when it comes to volume fans. When it comes to 0.5 lashes, I recommend to make your fans up to 7D. So that means you're gonna grab 7 little lashes, and that is normally about the amount that I was showing you guys how to do. So it's about that many little lashes, and this will give you your volume fan. Again, with the 0.4, you can make your fans a little bit bigger. So when I do use my 0.4, I do like to make 10D fans, and that's normally what I do for pretty much all my sets because I do stick to 0.4. So again, for 0.4, I am making my fans up to 10D, and if I'm using 0.5, which is pretty rare, I like to do anything under 7D fans. And the reason why you're able to make such bigger fans when it comes to your mega volume lashes is because, again, the lashes are lighter. So these are 0.3. And when it comes to mega volume lashes, you can honestly go as big as you want. But I'm going to be showing you guys real quick how much I like to pull when it comes to my mega volume lashes. So that is about the amount that I like to pull off my lashes. And again, I'm going to go ahead and pinch. So when it comes to mega volume lashes, your lashes do not need to be perfect at all. As long as your base is perfect, that's all that really matters. Yes, you can go into getting things really... Sorry, that one wasn't working. I bent it when I pulled it up. You have to make sure that your base is perfect. As you can see, the top part, the actual lashes don't need to be all perfect and symmetrical. As long as your base is perfect, that's all that really matters. And yes, if you do want to be super extra professional, want everything to look asymmetrical, then you do want to make your lashes perfect, like super perfect. But as a beginner, your main focus is to make sure that that base is super snatched. I don't know if you guys can see that. Your main focus is to make sure that those bases are super snatched. And honestly, learning how to do mega volume fans is so much easier than doing volume fans, because mega volume fans, you can make them as sloppy as you want and it will still look good, because once you start adding lash and lash and lash, you start adding more lashes, everything's just going to look fuller and it's going to completely cover everything, so you're not going to be able to tell anyways. But this is a crappy example of a mega volume lash, but the reason why I'm talking about it is because look at that base. Your overall job is to make sure that that base is super snatched and well put together. Again, bad example of a mega volume lash, but this is what you want to achieve. So if you are able to achieve this as a beginner, then you are on the right track. I'm going to show you guys again. So when it comes to a mega volume lash, you definitely want to be grabbing a lot more, probably like double of what you were grabbing, double or triple of what you were grabbing with volume lashes. I'm gonna go and pinch. So this is what you want to achieve when it comes to a mega volume lash. Again, the more lashes you add, the more lashes that are in the fan, the denser you are gonna make your mega volume lashes. But the only thing that I will say that is throwing me off about this fan, but if you see the base, there's a tiny little hair sticking out. You guys can see that. That is a big no. You never want to make your fans like this. You never want to place a fan that has a little lash sticking out, because if you place this on the lash, this little fan right here is going to be poking your client's eyelid, and you definitely don't want that. I mean, overall, the fan looks good. The only thing would be that little fan. So this is considered a no, even though it's still really pretty. Okay, so one tip that I will give you guys is, if you guys see that base and you see all those little lashes pointing out, you want to push those lashes up and make sure that the base is straight together, so that way when you pinch your fans, that base is going to be very nice and snatched. Because again, you don't want any lashes pointing out of that base. As you can see, when you fan them out, all your base comes together as one. So you can keep pinching until you get that desired look that you want. Okay guys, another tip that I will give you, the same one that I showed you earlier, on if you are struggling pinching or fanning on the strip or doing the flower bouquet, if you are really struggling making fans, like we did earlier, pull them off the strip. Make sure those bases are nice and well put. So what you're going to do is you're going to dip it in the glue, just the base barely, and then you're going to slide it through that insert. Open your tweezers just a little bit. That way that little insert, that little insert fans those lashes out for you. And the only downfall about doing this trick is that your bases will not be as perfect as they should be. As you can see, you got that little hair right there that shouldn't be there, but if you actually pay attention, it actually fanned out the lashes very nicely. Only thing is that that base is not perfect. So again guys, if you guys are struggling pinching or trying to make any fans, this is why this flower cup will come in handy, because it will make your job so much easier. So again, look how effortlessly I made this fan without putting in all that work. But yet again, the only downfall is that it will not make everything as perfect as it should be. So again, if you guys are struggling, try that out and see if it works for you. So when you do that, make sure that when you pull it off the strip, everything comes off the strip perfectly, because if you get any lashes that are not together like that, it will ruin everything for you guys. So again, dip it in the glue, pointing straight up, and then stick it through that little insert. And honestly guys, this one came out pretty nice. As you can see, it's not completely perfect, but it is actually a very nice fan compared to the other one. I am actually very impressed with that. Look how easy I was able to just pull it off the strip and dip it in the glue and then insert through there, and it just fanned it out very nicely without me having to do any extra work. Okay, now that I showed you guys the difference between a 0.5, which is the volume, and a 0.3, which is the mega volume, these are the basic lashes that you will need as a beginner to get started on both volume and mega volume. But again, guys, my favorite is the 0.4, which is the SocoLashes. It's honestly the perfect lash because you won't need to be spending so much money on volume and mega volume lashes. These lashes are it. They are the one-stop lash, if that makes sense. They are lightweight enough for you to be able to create mega volume lashes, but yet a little dense enough for you guys to still get away doing volume lashes. Every time I pull these lashes off the strip and I fan them, I never have any issues with them being stuck together or them not fanning out. I know that I've tried so many brands, and one thing I hate is when you pull them off the strip and the lashes are just stuck together and they don't fan. So if you guys are having issues with your lashes coming off the strip and the base is like stuck together, so when you do fan them out they just look so clumpy, is because those lashes are not good. When it comes to looking for the right lashes, you definitely want lashes that when you pull them off the base, they kind of spread out on their own. I'm not talking about easy fan lashes, because easy fan lashes for me are the devil. I hate easy fan lashes. I hate them. I can't stand them. I know that when I first got started, easy fan lashes were barely coming out and they weren't really as popular. So I had to learn how to do fans the hard way. And now that they are very popular, I try to use them and they're the worst thing ever. So that's a good example of why I don't like lashes that already have with like sticky film at the bottom, and those are technically called easy fan lashes. I do not like those, but some brands that are not easy fan lashes still come with film at the base, and it's so hard to fan out those lashes. You definitely want to avoid using lashes like that. When I made this fan, I had no issue fanning that out, and this is the SocoLashes 0.4 lashes, and look how nicely they fanned out. Like, I had no struggle fanning those lashes out. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys again like what to look for if lashes are good or not. So again, you're gonna pull them off the base, And when they come off looking like that, like separated, not so clumped together, you're gonna notice that those lashes are gonna be easy to fan. So when I go in there, they fan out so beautifully. Like, just look how nicely that fanned out without me having to put a lot of work in there. So again, guys, look how nicely they fan out with no issue at all. They literally fan like butter. Like, I am obsessed with these lashes. And obviously that's not a good fan either, but it's a good start. Again, when it comes to mega volume lashes, your whole overall point is to make sure that those bases don't have any hair sticking out of there and everything is nice and put well together. And when it comes to the density of the lashes, the more you place on there, the more fuller they'll look. So the bigger the fan, the fuller they are. Okay, so I pretty much just showed you guys how to do mega volume fans using the 0.4, and again with the same concept. With when it comes to volume lashes, you want to grab less lashes. So less lashes for volume fans, more lashes for mega volume fans. So the thing I love about the 0.4 is that I'm able to use this lash alone for both styles, and look how nicely that fanned out without me having to put so much pressure on there. So dip that in the glue, and there we go, volume fan. So now let me show you guys the difference. Obviously these are not the most perfect fans but these right here are the 0.5 lashes, and these are volume fans that I did. Obviously not all of them are perfect, it was just an example that I was showing for you guys. These ones right here are the 0.3. So 0.3, you can get away with doing bigger fans because the lashes are lighter, and I did use quite a lot of glue there. And these ones right here, these are the 0.4 mega volume fans that I did with the SocoLashes. So again, these ones right here are a little bit thicker. These are the 0.5. So the thicker the lash, the lighter fan you want to make. 0.4 is right in between both of them, so you can get away doing volume fans and mega volume fans. So again, these are the 0.3. The lighter they are, the thicker the fan you can make. I hope this video explained the difference between volume and mega volume. So again, you definitely don't need to go out and invest so much money on so many types of different lashes. I definitely do recommend for you to take a course if you have never been trained with mega volume or even volume lashes. I definitely recommend for you to take a course because there is only so much that you can learn from YouTube. So definitely take a course because that way they will go more into detail. I probably missed a lot of things in this video, but I just wanted to show you guys the difference in lashes and the difference in fans and how each lash makes a different size fan. So again, if you want to just start off and you want to just do the basics of lashes, then I recommend to get the 0.5 for volume, and if you really want to get technical, get 0.5 in volume lashes and 0.3 for mega volume lashes. But if you want to save yourself a pretty penny and don't want to make everything so complicated, get the 0.4 lashes, because this not only will it save you money, but these lashes fan out so beautifully and it will literally just make your life so much easier. So if you are going to be using these, you have to make your fans a little lighter to make volume fans. If you want them a little fuller, then you can make them a little bigger to do mega volume lashes. But again, because they are 0.4, you definitely don't want to be making them as big as you would with a 0.3. So I hope that made sense, and I hope you guys liked today's video. If you guys are still a little lost and don't know what I just said then comment down below, or you can message me on my Instagram at Lash&Beauty. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so you guys don't miss out on future lash content. So see you guys in my next video. Bye.